I was thinking about some problems that the world has, because the main idea is to solve the problems of the world. Already I thought that in my book there is a language called Python. So if I master this Python language, I can easily program it. And then I was able to show this to my teacher, who accepted the project. My name is Abdul Shafi and I am from Doon International School, Srinagar. I study in class 8th and I live in Srinagar, Rangdet. And today I am here to talk about my project, which is for deaf people, and it is used to translate our voice into, it converts the voice into text so that the deaf people can read it, and this will significantly change the life of the deaf people and make it much better for them. When I heard about this association, about the Inspire project, so I was thinking about some problems that the world has, because the main idea is to solve the problems of the world. So I was thinking about where can I find these problems, what are the resources. Then I thought about the news. So I started searching about the old news, where I found that an accident with a deaf person. So it happened when a deaf person was crossing a road. So obviously he's deaf, so he cannot hear sound. Although he was wearing a hearing aid, which just increases the pitch of the sound so that the deaf person can hear it, but still he was not able to hear the sound of the car, and the car hit him and he died on the spot. So I thought about that it's a very big problem, because there are a lot of places where communication is very important and very necessary. Now there are many ways which we can communicate with the deaf person, like we can write on the paper then send it to him, or we can just speak a little louder because he has a hearing aid. Obviously all deaf people have that, but in some situations the sound has to be emitted fast, just like the case that I gave before. So I thought about that the most efficient way is to write on a paper. So what if we made a machine which will automatically write on a paper? This was my first idea, and then I thought about it will be easy if it is going to print it on an LCD display, which is going to fit on his glasses so that he can easily read it. So in the beginning I thought about making a simple project for which can write on the paper by itself. And I thought about discussing it with my teachers. They told me that there was a teacher in our school which was obsessed with this Arduino thing, so he can easily program everything. I got to them and they said it's kind of difficult to make something that can write on a paper, and then how are we going to fit it in his glasses, because it is way too big. There are machines that can print by using a pen or a pencil, but how are we going to fit it in our glasses? So he told me to make a device that could fit it easily, that could be fitted easily in his glass, and the best way to do that is to make a device that will print itself using an LCD screen. So I thought about that and did a little bit of research. So he told me to use the components, like he told me to use an Arduino, an LCD screen, and then Bluetooth device which will connect to my mobile phone. So the main problem that I faced was that here the text has to be converted into speech, and again the speech is to be converted into text. That was the main problem. So but the problem is there are millions of words that could be converted, right? So how are we going to store all of this data in one small device, because the storage that we get in the Arduino is very little, because these are millions and billions of words in English, and also we have to make it translate, right? So the main way to think about this is by using internet. So there are pre-built databases in internet which store this information. For example, Google database, we know it translates, like when we have to say search something on the Google, we just click a button, we say it, and it just gets converted, but it uses internet. So what happens is that when we say something, the voice goes to the database through the internet. There it is going to be converted into the text. Then the text is going to be converted back into speech for Google to understand this, right? So that was the main idea, but how are we going to connect this Arduino to internet? So I thought about, why don't we use the pre-built internet in my phone? So all am I going to do is I'm going to make an app. It is going to translate everything, every of my voice into text, and that text is going to be sent through the Bluetooth to my Arduino, where it is going to be printed on a small screen. So I thought of it and asked my teacher how to make it. So he gave me a basic structure and told me to combine all of this, then he will program it by himself. So I was kind of obsessed with these things because I always wanted to get some experience and exposure. I always wanted to learn new skills, and I thought that this is a good way to learn a new skill like programming. Already I thought that in my book there is a language called Python. So if I master this Python language, I can easily program it. It took me some time to do it on my own, but in the end I was able to make it. I used a lot of internet and research a lot. I was able to make it, and also with this I also got a very good experience of coding, and I also got to interact with my teachers with how to use internet for coding and programming, and how I can use different apps, how I can make apps, and then I was able to show this to my teacher who accepted the project. Also, I give a lot of credits to my teachers who bring this experience to me and give me a chance to do this. So I think it's very important for a student to be creative, because we know that as a kid grows up, the creativity decreases. When the kid is little, the mind is very, very creative at that time, because when it grows up, there are a lot of things to worry about, and the creativity slowly fades away.